Hey guys, Greg here with another video. Today I want to talk about and pose the question to you, what's your story? Now, what do I mean by this? I mean, what is your story? What is your experience? How has your experience made you the person that you are right now? For me, my story and the story that I want to tell you about is my quote unquote disability. Um, when I was 2 days old, I know some of you have heard this story already, but I'm going to try to go a little more in depth with it. When I was 2 days old, I had a stroke. For those of you who don't know like what a stroke technically does, it's basically a blood clot in your brain. Um, so I had a stroke when I was 2 days old. This caused brain damage because I went without oxygen for 6 minutes, and in turn, the lack of oxygen for that long period of time caused brain damage and partially paralyzed my left side to the point where it killed all the nerve cells, all the pathways are gone, so that this is a permanent thing. I will never fully gain 100% mobility, use, strength, all of that stuff from my left hand, left leg, basically. But why I'm telling you this is, like, a lot of times, I guess this goes a little bit back to the what's your excuse video that I made. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is for you to think about your story, and in this case to use that story to help move you forward and move you further along in the road to success. Now, there's two kinds of people in the world. There's doers and there's talkers. Which one do you think that you would want to be? I mean, just off the top of your head, which one do you think you would want to be? Do you want to be a doer, or do you want to be a talker? The doers are the people that are always taking action. They don't sit around and think about things for too long. They just they get themselves to a point where it's like, okay, well, I want to do this, achieve this goal. I'm going to go do it. They don't sit there and think about it. They just, if they do think about it, they're thinking, how can I do this? What do I need to do to get it done? Things like that. The talkers are people that are always going to talk about what they want to achieve, what they should be doing, what they need to be doing, but they never really get back to it. I guess can also go back a little bit to the positive support group. Is you want to kind of surround yourself with, as far as the positive support group goes, you want to surround yourself with the doers, not so much the talkers, the people that will be like, oh yeah, I'll do it tomorrow, oh yeah, I'll do it this day, I'll do it this day. You want to get to be surrounded with the doers. The doers will take the action. They will be the ones that will help move you further along the story. Now, as far as like what's your story goes, I know a lot of times, like for example, in my case, I have got the physical disability. But why I'm sharing this with you also is you can't let that stop you. You can't let that stop you, in your life or in your fitness life, from getting the results that you want out of both life and the fitness life. Is and especially in the fitness life, because that's really what we're talking about here. I guess I'm going to focus a little bit about that. There's people that say, I can't do that. They see a specific, let's say, a specific move on, P90X or Insanity that they can't do. You have to remember that there are ways that you can do it, but you can modify it. I mean, for me, for example, there was a lot of moves that I had to the first time that I went through P90X. And even now, when I do P90X or P90X2, there are some moves that I need to modify because I literally can't do them. Or if it's one that I like seriously can't do, I will substitute that for something that I can do. It's all about at least, trying, putting your, best foot forward, taking the action to, get to succeed. I mean, even if, you're like extremely overweight, let's say you're 300 pounds and you can't do a push-up. Okay, well, do a push-up from your knees or whatever. Like, even if you can do one the first week, okay, and then let's say the next week you are able to do two, technically you're still stronger because you were able to do two instead of one. So think about that. I mean, that might not seem like a lot. Granted, you're going to have to work your way up. I mean, we've talked about this before. that success is going to be a lifelong journey. But the fact that you were able to go from 2 push-ups to 1 makes you stronger. I mean, and think about what I told you a few videos ago about how I went from push-ups on my knees to the point now where I can actually do, you know, almost 20 normal push-ups. So think about that. Think about, what your story is and how you can use that instead of being, a negative holding you back excuse paradigm to switching it to a positive paradigm. Let's say, well, how can I do this to get this? How can I modify this particular move so that I can still work on my arms, on my chest, on my legs, on my back, whatever the case may be. And even in your actual life, well, how can I use this to still, move myself forward? So that's what I want you to think about today. I want to challenge you to think about your story and challenge yourself to change it into a positive story as opposed to, letting you hold it, making it so that it holds you back. Think about it for a while, try to and challenge yourself maybe to even take one step further than that and, challenge yourself to be a doer today instead of just a talker. So think about it. That's the video for today. Remember, like I always say, where there's a will, there's a way, and I'll see you guys soon.